as soon as we can on your screen as we watch the two teams coming into the field now. KCB in your picture there with the hooded students from Strathmore. Strathmore Leos there with some interesting dressing here as they come into the field. Relaxed, composed, high fives all round. They'll need a bit of that composure for this final because they do have here an opponent equal to the task this evening. Interesting there, walk-in Walter by Strathmore Leos, hooded and perhaps giving an indication just what they are up to today. Center referee ready. His assistants on the touchline are ready. Are you ready? The first final of the National 7 Series here in Driftwood. Cool skies here, weather has cooled a bit as we kick off this final. KCB go high and short, well taken there by Strathmore. Put their passes together here, Strathmore, as they've done here. No rack so far. Oh, that goal gets off. Brian Aimba there has to take responsibility, says it came off my chin. But the referee said just your left hand. The slight touch there. Gabriel Aimba doesn't agree there, but it's a scrum nonetheless.
KCB looking to split that stubborn defensive line of the Leos. Jenkins, Smadi, Festus shrugs off 1, 2, 3, weak shoulders on the inside channels. Smadi, formerly of the Strathmore Leos. Olukusi. Olukusi makes it look so easy. I mean, the man runs with intent. He never looks for space.
There is no doubt there what Olukusi wanted to do.
It's an unfair fight.
It was David versus Goliath there, that one.
I think we need to stop that fight.
The missed conversion comes off the post. I think Gabriel Aimba should have perhaps assisted his diminutive scrum off here, Mwendwa. But KCB off the mark quickly. Oh, well taken there by Onyala, but it's a good contest here from Strathmore. Onyala claims that it was an infringement, but he took it very well with that kickoff. But a good turnover there from Strathmore Leos. Good kickoff, good take, and also good contest on the rack. That's what you expect in a final, Walter.
Yes, that's exactly what you expect in a final. Brian Mwendo there leading his charges. Diminutive figure at scrum half. Huge heart.
Yeah, don't let his size fool you, Brian Mwendo. He does try to do an overhead pass, but it's tapped back there by KCB. Onyala there with the ball. He's under pressure, Onyala. Yes, referee sees that. He's trying to play the ball on the floor.
Scully with an improvisation there of a tap and go. The ball has to touch any point of the foot. Yeah, with his tall, lanky figure, you know, if he decides to go tap on the floor, he might knock it on. So if he probably tries to juggle it, he also might knock it on. So he goes with the knee.
Well, he was allowed to do that, as we see here, knock on by Mwendwa when he came to pick up that from the rack.
Cabras falling short at the semis. Nakuru also falling short. These two teams going through to the final at the expense of both sides. Floyd Obuire just getting the afterburners on. Mwendwa and Gabi trying to square it out. And he races the two down. Try time, KCB.
It was coming across. I was wondering what was going to happen there, Floyd Obuire. But he knew his way to the try line. Looked up, saw Gabriel Ayimba, and felt confident that he would take him out on pace. Did an in out there to the final man, the sweeper there, Brian Mwendwa, and eventually scored at the corner there.
Second try, of course, KCB oozing with class across board. They are packing his pace. A fight for dear try line. Brian Mwendwa couldn't handle. In, out, simple.
In,
but
out,
well,
it was a stop and go.
A deadly combination if it comes out very well. That is a fast moving figure of Floyd Obuire. Nijo going to take his team forward. Kicks. Time to see the chase.
It's a decent kick, you'd think, because it's right at the edge there of the touch line. Does get touch, and KCB will have to be efficient on this line out, because a score here from Strathmore and conversion just puts them 3 points out.
But they're asking KCB to show them if they are able to execute. But what about them? Why don't you keep the ball and attack and look for space? You see, KCB are able to defend their line. They can be able to execute their line out, and they have the ball now attacking Strathmore. So this might result in a try, and there you have Smadi Festus breaking through the defensive line. One man to beat, and Brian Mwendwa hangs on so desperately on the floor there. Counter coming through. The referee allows play to continue. Playing the ball in an offside situation. That is Stanislas Shikoli. KCB quickly. Tap and go. Elvis Olukusi in one destination. Gabriel Ayimba knows it.
Does not look confident here. And Gabriel unable to deal with the...
Gabriel Ayimba not able to handle the big figure of a marauding lion in the name of Elvis Olukusi. Olukusi silently has been able to rack up the numbers. You can see the scores, the tries he's been able to score. He takes his team forward. He sort of would be one of those unsung heroes if KCB were to eventually lift this trophy.
I think it's obvious what his work is here, and he's very dynamic. Olukusi, Elvis, as you see that try with a fend from a desperate attempt here by Gabriel Ayimba. You'd have thought maybe he'd go lower there. When you come from a big man upright, you expect a fend. You're right, Strathmore did kick deep there, expecting to get a defensive catch there from line out, but KCB have been efficient, and they've used their big men very well, as we see. A knock on here, no.
Play off their feet.
I think it's an infringement here, off the feet.
Well, this is a KCB side with the likes of Samuel Asati yet to come back into the fray. You'd argue KCB look to be the most experienced team that has come to these games.
Yes, and the experience is not just in terms of age here, but in terms of rugby hours, both in the short version and the 15s. So it makes a huge difference here in a game like this final, where you can control the pace KCB, and they have controlled the pace here so far, leading Strathmore Leos 15 points to 0, keeping the students silent here at the Driftwood final. Andrew Amonde there, Kenya Shulja, SNC coach, looking very composed. Willis Ojal, Foxy still just giving feedback right at the end there with an animated Charles Cadovillis, just pushing the boys there, asking more for them, some energy. Cadovillis seems to be asking. Walter, perhaps this is a justification to your statement earlier when you said perhaps the final between, rather the match between KCB and Cabras was the final before the final.
Yes, they were always going to produce the team that was going to be the biggest hurdle in the final. KCB proving that in that first half of the final of this year's Sportpesa National 7th Circuit Driftwood Sevens. Elvis Olukusi has been able to give his fair share of service to KCB. KCB, remember, are the financial banking partner of this tournament. Many thanks to that in terms of support. KCB with a second half to finish. Strathmore with a second half, an opportunity to hunt down points. Interesting to see Vincent Onyala with a big carry there, running straight into Brian Mwendwa. Strathmore Leos quickly win it, tap and go, and that is Barnabas Owuor with all his experience. Freshly graduated and scores a try for the Strathmore Leos side. Barnabas Owuor.
Well, if you can't beat them, join them. He does an Olukusi there, Barnabas, and carries straight, and Mwendwa converts. And as we say that perhaps the Cabras game with KCB was the final before the final. The students here just
if there was any team that was needed to score next, I think Strathmore Leos were needed to score next in that.
Definitely. It's a good kickoff. It's a really good kickoff, but KCB very efficient there with that take. With Mohati showing his strength there, Bob. That lift. Nyala with a nice flat pass there. Floyd Wabwira stepping back in, and Nyala again sends the ball away. Crisp carry follow through Mohati in the middle as you would expect. But the ball not rolling away, rather the player not rolling away there. Strathmore number 13, Malemba, was stuck there into the racks. And it looks like Kipruto there, Jack, is just milking that penalty. Tying Amalemba's feet there literally and forcing him to stay in the rack, and the referee judged him not to go the way. Set piece to set piece here for KCB as they kick the ball downfield and just calmly. This is final sevens here from the bunkers.
Yes. KCB remaining strong. Tapped backwards by Elvis Olukusi. Shipped, knocked on. Leos with yet another chance. 4 minutes. Lots of time left. Quick tap there by Gabi to Nijo. Nijo shows hoping for the gas man on the outside. Will be able to ban Offloads back. Tapped backwards. KCB survived that attack. Bob Mohati. Elvis calm under pressure. That probably would have been that time when you get somebody kicking the ball. But Elvis wouldn't have kicked possession. But KCB surrender possession to Strathmore Leos, a forward pass.
Nyala there with the forward pass.
That's a labored pass there. You can see the energy levels. It has been a very tough 2 days. You would forgive them for being a bit lethargic towards the end there.
You'd also expect Onyala to give a better pass with no pressure there.
Yes, the opposite is also true.
Yes, but finals do get the best of you. And Strathmore, interesting here, opportunity with about just under 3 minutes to go. Went off the scrum feed here for Strathmore. If they do score quickly here, I'll get a 7-pointer. Then it becomes interesting. That looks like a knock-on.
A knock-on in the tackle. Referee should be playing an advantage, probably a penalty advantage. Is it? Wafula looking to take on Floyd Obuire. That advantage not being gained. It's a high tackle.
Yeah, it is a high tackle.
That is Floyd sent to the bean. Facial expression shows it all. 2 minutes. Strathmore Leos, if anything has to come out of this, they have to score.
Floyd, you want to quickly get to the naughty chair so that perhaps you can come back for the last few seconds here. Otherwise, it gives Strathmore an opportunity.
Yes, he does. See that. And his 2 minutes.
That was a Ngeta tackle there by Floyd Obuire.
Brian Mwendwa poses. The defensive line comes up. Alton Amalemba with a very good defender in Emmanuel Opondo. Rarely do you get to see Emmanuel being beaten 1v1. Wafula gets the long pass coming out wide. That is Bob Mohati and company making the tackles. Gabi Aimba stepping right into KCB. Wafula coming off the ground and picking the remnants of that tackle attempt by what the referee calls. I'm not sure what the call is.
It's an offside. Across the other side. Because there's no advantage there for Strathmore, so he says offside right at the other end of the field.
Still enough time.
You just need to score here, Strathmore. Doesn't matter whether...
Maybe 3 or 7 or 5. They actually need at least 3 points.
Well, it doesn't matter where they score on this one. I think with just under 2 minutes, if they score, make it 12-15, then they kick off. I think there's an opportunity for them to again play again, because they are, remember, have one-man advantage. KCB taking the time to come for this scrum. I'm not sure whether that was the right call from Strathmore, because this is...
No, one-man advantage, it gives them...
it does, but
it's into the time. All they need is to score and hopefully have a kickoff. That's the most important thing.
Well, time is the enemy here. I hope the referee has stopped his time, because our clock seems to be moving. I would think the referee should have stopped his time here. He now calls for the time back on.
Yes.
So there's about 20 seconds on that clock.
Or more.
Or more, yeah.
KCB will be looking to challenge this scrum down. They'll be going at Strathmore Leos. You can see there, tap and go. Brian Mwendo taps quickly, dives and scores. He knocks it on.
Were they 10 meters on that?
No, they can't be 10 meters out because the scrum was 5 meters out of the try line.
No, sorry, but were they back?
5.
Yes, but no, it calls a
Brian.
I think is embarrassed there, but it is a scrum. KCB
survived that. That could be the most important moment for them, because had they scored that, it meant that the last play would have been one challenging, daunting task.
Well, there's time here for a scrum, as we see Brian Mwendwa there. Was a foot.
He actually fell on Onyala's foot.
Yeah, it's a penalty try. Penalty try here. I tell you what, that is a penalty try for play by KCB. I think there's a foot there on Brian Mwendwa, and there is time for kickoff because while our clock seems to have gone, the try was called before the buzzer, so there's time here for kickoff.
Yeah, that is exactly what we were talking about. They needed that restart immediately after scoring.
I tell you what, there's everything on this restart. Everything's going on this restart.
Yes, you put all the money on that restart. KCB looking the ball to bounce backwards. Strathmore Leos looking for the ball to bounce forward. And that is the end of that. KCB celebrate at the full-time whistle. It is a win in the bag. The Sportpesa National 7th Circuit first weekend out. The Driftwood Sevens claimed by KCB.
Walter, I think let's show some respect here for Strathmore Leos, because we did say perhaps they started poorly in that half. They scored all the points in the second half. It looked ominous for them because KCB seemed to be cruising.